Do you believe that you have the potential to be great at anything? How about the potential to be the absolute best at that said thing? If not that, how about fulfilling a dream that you believe that you are fully capable of? If so, what will cause you to be crazy enough to attempt to squeeze out every drop of talent that you possess to actually get to that point? Thoughts that may make a self-critical person take years upon years to truly dig deep and even attempt to ask themselves, let alone actually answer the question. Zion Williamson, a name synonymous with immense talent and athleticism. He has always been known to be one of the freak of natures that has limitless potential, but with talent is greatness a given? Let's dive into a journey of a man who has the world at his feet, yet there seems to be something missing. At the young age of 16 years old, Zion Williamson was deemed a prodigy after going viral on YouTube for his crazy dunks and highlight reels. We were watching a man amongst boys, and watching him play other kids his age was like watching Naruto whoop Konohamaru in the Chunin exams. Anyways, Zion had it all, from being 6'7", 285 pounds to having Goliath-like strength to having a 45-inch vertical. It was unprecedented to be able to jump that high while being that big and strong in professional adult athletes, let alone a teenager. The athletic ability along with his talent will propel him to becoming the second-ranked recruit out of his graduating class in 2018, and he would take his talents to
Duke University,
a program who has proven to be the cream of the crop when it comes to getting their players to the league. Zion, with being the prodigy that he was, will go on to again make himself look like a man amongst boys, as he will overpower and dunk all over these college kids that never even had a chance against him. It was crazy to watch how helpless they really were in real time, and it was almost as if they knew they had no shot. As the season progressed, it became clear that Zion was clearly the top prospect in the upcoming NBA draft, and it was only a matter of time before he would be selected with the number 1 pick. With that being said, teams knew what type of talent they would be getting if they were able to acquire the number 1 pick to take Zion. So teams decided to start tanking the season so they could have more of a chance of getting the top pick. All of the teams that had a chance of getting him were like salivating at the idea of Zion wearing their uniform. But the team that ended up getting the honors to select him was none other than the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans have now gotten their golden boy that they believed will be able to keep the organization afloat after their previous face of the franchise, Anthony Davis, dipped out on them. After years of AD leading the Pelicans, he would end up requesting a trade so he can join LeBron in La La Land. Now with AD gone, Zion was now the guy. The way Zion was portrayed in the Bayou, you might have sworn that he was the greatest thing out of Louisiana since Lil Wayne, Gumbo, and Mardi Gras, but I digress. With that being said, there was one major concern that came with the drafting of this prodigy. Zion has always been a tank, especially in the context of being a basketball player. You could say that Zion has always been bigger than most NFL players, as he would be comparable to Aaron Donald in weight, an NFL D lineman, bro. This will end up proving to be a double-edged sword for Zion, especially with him being as twitchy and athletic as he is. We have seen other athletic players who are a lot smaller than Zion, but who also have great quick twitch muscles and athleticism, struggle with injuries. Especially the one that we are all still struggling with to this day. Look at it like this. All 285 pounds going 45 inches in the air will eventually have to come down. And that's not even factoring in all of the cuts and sudden movements that are also involved in a game like basketball. General managers and the media alike will end up being concerned that a guy as electric as Zion will not be able to avoid the injury bug and become the all-time great that we all know he could be. With that being said, the concern of Zion being injury prone as a pro will come into fruition when Zion had to have knee surgery as a 19-year-old rookie. He will also go on to miss the entire third season at 21 years old after undergoing foot surgery. With missing all of this time, this will lead to constant rehab trying to get back to normal. All that will end up doing is keeping him away from the court and from practicing with his teammates as normal, which will lead him to having even more issues with staying in shape. Zion will put on weight season after season on top of the weight that he already needed to drop to prevent injuries. It was clear as day that it even caused him to be more sluggish when you watched him warm up, as he couldn't really move as he used to back in college. It's perplexing to say that when in the league, it's basically a responsibility that you have to the game as a young player to constantly improve year by year, as most guys with his talent and potential do, but Zion was stuck in a cycle of stagnation. It led to the basketball world to start speculation. What really is the problem? Why would a multi-million-dollar professional hooper who has been deemed a prodigy since being 16 years old with all of the God-gifted talent in the world allow himself to be slowed down by his weight? Isn't it his literal job to make sure that he stays in shape and is prepared to play? These are things that all of us, as an average basketball fan, would naturally have in mind. You would think that with all the natural athletic talent in the world, Zion's success would just figure itself out, especially considering the limitless potential that he possesses. But what if talent isn't nearly enough to actually fulfill your potential? What if there's a factor that contributes to fulfilling your God-given potential even more than your God-given talent?
Two years ago, I had the goal in my head that I'm going to be the best player in the league. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help my team win, and I'm going to win the MVP. And every day that I step on the floor, I always think about my dad, and that motivates me and it pushes me to play harder and move forward. Even though when my body's sore, even though when I don't feel like playing, I always going to show up and I always going to do the right thing. I want to thank my amazing brothers. I love you guys, man.
As you can see with Giannis's MVP speech, there is more to reaching the pinnacle of basketball than what you naturally already had. Giannis came into the league as an unknown, scrawny foreign kid who was unproven and worked his way to not being only a one-time MVP, but a two-time MVP. What is it that could lead someone to being crazy enough to fight to become the best at a profession at its most competitive level? Purpose.
To Zion Williamson, who looked fat, out of shape, unfocused, lethargic, and blasé. You're about 15 years or more younger than LeBron James. He's in his 21st season. Zion Williamson has missed 63% of his games, and he hasn't even completed his 5th year in the NBA yet. That's how pathetic it's been. And this kid is a superstar potential kind of talent. His affliction is food. He can't stop eating. How would I know this? Could it be because chefs in New Orleans love him? That's what I've heard. That could be one reason. Could it be that New Orleans is one of the best cities in America, if not the best city in America when it comes to restaurants and food? Sure. But the ultimate evidence was his belly. I watched this man walk to the free throw line, and I saw his belly bounce. Now, maybe there's something wrong with my eyes, but there's no excuse for an NBA player, professional athlete, on a basketball team to be having his stomach bouncing. There's no excuse for that. Something's got to give, and I hope it's Zion giving more in effort and less chewing. Somebody needs to say it, so damn it, I'm gonna say it.
After Zion's injury and weight issues became a revolving door every offseason, the media had questions about his self-control, and it started becoming a topic of discussion. His eating and training habits, along with his offseason recreational endeavors, also started to become a talking point. With Zion having as much talent as he does, the narrative that Zion is focused on other, more important things started to arise. As much as I would love to speculate about why Zion's insatiable appetite is the reason why he can't lock in, we have to face the facts. We as basketball fans don't know Zion Williamson. We don't know why Zion can't keep the weight off. We don't know why Zion can't stay healthy. We don't know why Zion loves big booty bandits. But most importantly, we don't know Zion's purpose. If I'm being real, I believe and still do believe that Zion Williamson has the potential to be the best player in the league. With as much talent as he has, there is no question in my mind that he could be at least a top 5 player in the league at bare minimum if he really locked in. But that is exactly the problem. How can you turn the if into when? You have to find a strong enough reason to attempt to get to that point. There are many people in the world who could have been great or even a go at what they do if they just had a strong enough why. Is Zion's why the notoriety to build his brand? Is his why the money to take care of his family? Is it to become a great basketball player? A combination of all of them? Who knows? But the only person who can answer that question is Zion. When it comes to figures and celebrities making mistakes and having their downfalls, us regular people are quick to kick them when they are down. Whether it's online or in casual conversation with our friends or family, we love to talk about inadequacies that these people have when really we should be talking about what they are going through and attempting to learn from it. There are a lot of people who got on Zion, including myself, about his inability to manage his weight as an athlete and continuing to get better every year so he can reach his potential when really we should have been improving ourselves. Social figures are just as human as we are. So what is our excuse to berate them when we aren't even close to fulfilling our own potential? It's okay though, because we can be redeemed by looking deep into ourselves and honestly trying to figure out our why. Once we have acknowledged our purpose and really made sure that our why is strong enough to fulfill our potential, there is nothing that can stop us, especially if you are naturally talented at a certain thing. That's a road that most people are too afraid to travel, so we cope with our shame of not really learning ourselves by talking down on the next man. It is a road that may appear ugly as you are walking it, but will force you to appreciate its beauty after you have endured the challenges that it puts in front of you. Zion's story isn't done, and is one that is all too relatable to the common man. So let Zion's situation be a representation of a life lesson that is unfolding in real time. Let us all find true purpose and use it as a fuel to propel our talent to fulfill our God-given potential.